My first day was funny, but this is in no way what the mission is like. It's a little ridiculous. Because I got to the mission home, I was a little jet lagged, and my trainer picked me up. And I don't know how, because we were whitewashing the area, or we were both new to it, but somehow he had set up an appointment that day. And so we had it that night, and it was off in the middle of this just little city that's in the middle of this forest thingy, you know. And so I get straight out of the mission home, you know, and we took a couple trains and a boat and got to our area, and you know, it was cool. We put my luggage there, and I really thought like we were just gonna spend the day, like he's gonna tell me about things and whatever, but he's like, no, we got a lesson, it's time to go. And I still don't speak Portuguese at this point, of course. Like you'd like to feel like you speak it out of the MTC, but it's, once you get there, it's a little confusing, you know. And we had to just go on this crazy hike because there's no bikes. Only a couple select areas get cars in Portugal. You mostly just walk, you know. And so we walked forever and like through this weird little forest thing. Like I thought I was gonna be walking in cities because I'm in Europe, you know, you just expect that. And so I'm walking through this crazy little forest, and then we pop out in this neighborhood in this city. It was called Cidade Sol, it means Sun City, right? And it's full of just immigrants everywhere, right? And half of them are immigrants from Africa, and the other half are all gypsies. Right? And I guess the gypsies and the Africans just hate each other. And so there's just all these like fights in this area all the time. And to get to the African side where our appointment was, we had to walk through the gypsy area, you know. And so I'm walking through, and the gypsies are kind of a unique lot of people, you know. And so they're always like begging for things. And, you know, my trainer was telling me like, oh, as you walk through these gypsies, they're going to grab you and beg and whatever. And just don't say anything to them. You know, and we're walking through, and they're begging for stuff, and like I don't understand what they're saying, but I got enough to know that they were asking for things, you know. And this old lady came, was just asking, and I, you know, in my terrible Portuguese, because it was my first day, you know, I'm trying to tell her I don't have anything, I can't give you any money, and she grabbed my face and she spat on both sides and just started like yelling out, I don't know what, because I didn't understand her. It just sounded like gibberish to me. But, you know, and then, you know, she spat on me a couple more times and walked away. So I turned to my trainer, what just happened? And he's like, well, I think she just gave you a gypsy death curse. I was like, what are you? I've been in the country for like an hour. Like, I can't believe I have a gypsy death curse, you know. So I was kind of freaking out. And then, you know, we got out of the gypsy area, and some of the African immigrants drove by, and they threw like their McDonald's meal and hit me in the head with this garbage. And I was like, this is going to be the worst thing ever. Like, this is terrible. But then we went to our lesson, and it was super spiritual. And, you know, I never had a day like that ever again the whole rest of the mission. Like, there's totally not typical of Portugal at all. It was just kind of a funny story.